Welcome to News Now Alberta. This is Special Ed. Today we're going to Ohio, where an officer shot a man holding his phone as a flashlight. It only took a few seconds for the officer to decide to pull the trigger, but almost 10 minutes for someone to actually check if the guy was okay.
Our first real look into what happened the morning Andre Hill was shot and killed came in the release of the officer's body cam footage. And while there are still many questions, the looming concerns from our city leaders are more about what we don't see in that video. 10 TV's Brittany Bailey breaks down the video moment by moment.
What we are learning from this video and what city leaders are voicing their frustration about is that it appears that it took mere seconds for Officer Coy to shoot Andre Hill, but many minutes before anyone appeared to help him.
The video begins in silence. That's because this is the look back portion, the automatic 60 seconds recorded after a body-worn camera is activated. It's still silent as Officer Adam Coy approaches an open garage on Oberlin Drive. Andre Hill then walks around a parked car holding a lit-up phone in his left hand. His right hand is not visible. He takes just 5 steps before Officer Coy fires the shot that would end Hill's life. Then the audio kicks in on the video, and we hear Officer Coy for the first time.
Hands out to the side, now!
Hill does not move. Officer Coy makes several more commands.
Roll to your stomach, now! Yeah.
Hill does not move, and no one moves to help him. Later in the video, Coy turns to a fellow officer to ask for a support officer, someone who would stay with him throughout the morning.
Get me support.
Okay. Radio traffic reveals the officer does that, but she does not call for a medic. Radio traffic shows that comes in a different call 4 minutes later.
I need 30 minute officer support.
During this time, Officer Coy appears to be pacing, breathing heavily, perhaps even vomiting. The female officer puts up crime tape, and 5 minutes into the footage, still no one appears to be helping Andre Hill. In fact, another officer who arrives makes a different suggestion.
Let's cuff him up.
It's more than 7 minutes into the video before more officers arrive, and it's still not clear whether any are helping Hill. But it seems Officer Coy is already starting to reflect on what had happened.
Gotta figure out what I missed.
And in the final moments of the video, we hear a request to stop that video that city leaders say he failed to start when he should have.
Hey, Sarge, one more time. I can shut this off?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Brittany Bailey, 10 TV News.
Now, we have put the entire unedited body camera video on our 10 TV website, and you can watch it there.
Officer Adam Coy murdered Andre Hill, who was not a threat to him, and the jury saw it that way. He was found guilty of murder and faces 15 years to life in prison. If it was us, we'd probably get life. You heard Officer Coy yell directives after he shot the guy, like put your hands out and turn to your stomach. One officer yells to put the handcuffs on him, but no one checked if he was still alive or needed help. They went right to the officer to make sure that he was okay.
We'll begin with Columbus police officer Adam Coy, found guilty of murdering Andre Hill. Hill shot 4 times in December of 2020 while coming out of a dark garage holding a cell phone and keys.
Coy is the first ever officer to be found guilty of murder in Franklin County. He'll now be sentenced 3 weeks from today, where he faces life in prison.
Some of the immediate reaction now from family and the police union following the verdict.
It's been way too long, but I'm glad that it's over. I mean, it won't bring Andre back, but hopefully it will set a precedent across the board for everyone else. That this is not something that we can tolerate.
Completely shocked murder. Completely shocked. I thought in this county perhaps a mistrial. Mr. Coy's dying. Simple as that. Mr. Coy is dying. He will die in prison.
Emotions certainly running high, so we have team coverage for you tonight. Kate Seifert and Rodney Dunnigan getting reaction from all sides. Rodney starts us off. You spoke to the family. What did they say, Rodney?
Well, Stacia, as you mentioned, the emotions have been thick here in the courthouse throughout the day. I spoke with family members, friends, and supporters of Andre Hill. This is a day that they have been waiting for some time. For them, this verdict is the justice that they've been calling for.
Very emotional. It was very emotional. I mean, I was nervous, terrified of what I would hear.
A painful sigh of relief. Nearly 4 years after the death of Andre Hill, his two sisters able to breathe again.
I know what I saw. I know what happened. I know what he did. So, I mean, there was no question in my mind.
The pair, along with a host of loved ones, emotional following the guilty verdict for former Columbus officer Adam Coy, convicted of murder in the December 2020 shooting death of Andre Hill.
I'm happy this is over. Basically, I'm just happy that we got the verdict. The jury saw this right. We're just happy this day is over.
In court, when the verdict was read, family shedding tears, holding each other close, thankful for the outcome, but firm in the reality that despite a prison sentence for former Officer Coy, Andre won't be coming back.
Thank God that they saw everything, that they were able to actually see what was. We're really happy.
Through all the distractions.
And something else I asked the family of Andre Hill this afternoon, I said, how do you feel knowing that former Officer Adam Coy will be going to prison? They were stark and straightforward in their answer and said that Andre Hill is no longer here and that Adam Coy still has his life. So that's how they're looking at this. They say their loved one is gone, and Adam Coy will still be able to live on despite that prison sentence. Now, we've also been hearing some stark and straightforward comments coming from the Fraternal Order of Police. Of course, Kate Seifert has been following this story for weeks now, and Kate, they were very passionate in their response to this verdict as well.
Yeah, Rodney, they certainly were. As you know, we have been covering this trial for over 2 weeks now. The jury ultimately deliberating for about 12 hours before coming to that guilty verdict on all 3 charges. And as we have told you already, this is the first time a Columbus police officer has been convicted of murder here in Franklin County.
We, the jury, being duly impounded and sworn, to find the defendant, Adam Coy, guilty of murder.
This send a message to every officer in this county that your split-second decision can now be led to murder. It is absolutely insane, and we are shocked by it.
Former CPD patrol officer Adam Coy immediately taken into custody, convicted of murder, felonious assault, and reckless homicide in the shooting death of Andre Hill. Hill was unarmed at the time of the shooting. Prosecuting attorney Anthony Pearson reacting to the jury's verdict.
They've thought about it. There's a lot before them, and they really gave it the necessary consideration that this type of case deserves.
It's been nearly 4 years since Coy shot and killed Hill. Since then, he has been diagnosed with cancer and, according to his attorney, is still undergoing some treatments.
Mr. Coy is dying. He will die in prison. There's no win here. There's no silver lining, right? Mr. Hill's dead and Mr. Coy is dying. The whole entire situation was an absolute tragedy.
In the courtroom Monday was Amy Detweiler. She was with Coy the night of the shooting and testified in this trial, telling the jury there was no doubt in her mind Coy believed Hill had a weapon.
Unfortunately, the jurors only get to know Adam through his testimony. They don't get to patrol the streets with Adam. They don't get to know the type of officer Adam is. So that's a difficult thing.
By request of the prosecution, the judge revoked Coy's bond Monday. Up until now, he has remained free, posting a $1 million bond back in February 2021.
We shouldn't be giving people special treatment. And I've been practicing criminal law for a long time. Individuals who usually get convicted of this type of crime, bond is revoked. So I just want to maintain equality in those aspects.
Coy will be back here in court for sentencing the week of Thanksgiving. He faces 15 years to life in prison. Rodney.
All right, thank you, Kate. And as we've reported for weeks now, it's taken about 4 years to reach this point. Stacia is giving us a timeline, walking us through when this started in December of 2020, and also how the Columbus City Council stepped in before the courts. Take a listen.
December 22nd, 2020, Central Ohio still reeling from the death of Casey Goodson, an unarmed man shot by a deputy. We learned of the shooting that killed Andre Hill.
I am deeply saddened, frustrated, angry, demanding answers of what happened in our community earlier this morning.
CPD commanders immediately took Adam Coy's badge and gun. 5 days later, he would be fired. A month later, Columbus City Council takes action, passing Andre's Law with new directives for the use of body cameras by Columbus police. Just shy of a year after the shooting and following others involving Columbus police, Chief Tom Quinlan resigns.
We view this as their acknowledgement that there are problems that need to be fixed.
In May of 2021, Columbus City Council approved a $10 million settlement for Hill's family, the largest in the city's history. Adam Coy was set to go on trial in April of 2023, but his cancer diagnosis and treatment delayed the proceedings until 2 weeks ago.
And as we have reported today, again, a former Columbus police officer, Adam Coy, convicted of murder in the shooting death of Andre Hill. He will be sentenced the week of Thanksgiving. Kind of a sad footnote to this story, again, on the holiday. If you remember, back in December of 2020, Andre Hill was shot and killed just days before Christmas. Of course, we will follow this case all the way through to the conclusion, and we will be back with you this evening at 6 with more emotional reaction from today's verdict. For now, reporting live downtown, back to you, Bob.
All right, thank you, Rodney. Thank you, Kate.
The sentencing was not yet out by the time I made this video, but I will update you as soon as I know. His lawyer said that he should not have to pay for a split-second decision to pull the trigger. How many people are in jail for murder for split-second decisions? The family sued and won $10 million settlement for this, but it won't bring Andre Hill back. But sometimes a lawsuit is the only way for police stations to learn. Copp's defense attorney has promised to appeal this decision because he doesn't believe his client should spend time in jail for killing someone because he has a badge. What do you think this officer should get? Let me know in the comments. Check out my Patreon, where for $1 a month you can get my videos a week in advance with perks coming. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.